Hi there. This is a video on technical mathematics, and I have decided to use a topic on complex numbers where we are required to solve for x and y if x plus I is equal to 1 plus yi. I mean 1 minus yi into 2 plus 3i. So in this equation, we are required to solve for two unknowns. The first unknown is x, and the second unknown is y. And before we do that, we need to bear in mind that any complex number comes in a standard form of a plus bi, where a is your real part and bi is your imaginary part. So we have a as our real part and bi as our imaginary part. So what we need to do here is to simplify this equation until we are able to identify the a part and the bi part. So let's start that. The left side is simplified, so we'll just write it down as it is. And the right hand side, we will use a FOIL to remove the brackets. So we'll go 1 multiplied by 2, which gives us 2. After that, we'll go 1 multiplied by 3i, it gives us 3i. Then after that, we multiply negative yi by 2, we will get negative 2yi. After that, we multiply negative yi by 3i, and we'll get negative 3yi squared. Always remember that any I squared in a complex number, I squared is always equal to negative 1. So we need to change the I squared. So we go x plus I is equal to 2 plus 3i minus 2yi equals negative 3y, and we change I squared to negative 1 and simplify further. So we've got x plus I equals to 2 plus 3i minus 2yi, and negative 1 multiplied by negative 3 gives us positive 3y. Once we've done that, we are now able to see which part is real and which part is complex. The real part is the part that doesn't have an I, so it's x, it's 2, and it's 3y. So we need to set up our first equation using the real part, which is x equal to 2 plus 3y. We call that equation 1. And then we move to the imaginary part now. We need to set up an equation using imaginary part. Our imaginary part is 1, and that's 3i, and the negative 2yi. You can see that all these terms have got I in them. So that's why we regard them as our imaginary part. So our second equation will be I equals 3i minus 2yi. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is, you can see that the only unknown in this equation except the I is y. So if we can get y on its own, we'll be able to solve this equation. So we take the negative 2y, transpose it, and we'll have positive 2yi is equal to 3i. Transpose the 1 that side, that will give us minus I. Now the next step now is to say, okay, 2yi is equal to 3i minus I is 2i. You can see that you have I this side and I that side. So what you do is either drop the I and you will be left with 2y equals to 2. And then divide both sides by 2, and you will get that the value of y is equal to 1. Now, once you've got the value of 1, all that you will do is to take the value of 1, substitute it there in the first equation, and then you will get your x equal to 2 plus 3 times 1, which is equal to 5. And you have solved your equation. Thank you very much.